Hey everybody, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete here, and welcome to another episode of my horror debate series that I collaborate with my good buddy Carlin, where we debate a wide array of topics in the horror genre. If you are new here, what you do is you watch my video, then go watch Carlin's video, link in the description down below. It's going to be titled the same one as this one. And then after you watch both videos, if you want to, you're going to go to the community tab on his page and he'll have a poll up to vote for who you thought had the better argument. And there's also a tie option because we both realized over the past dozen or so debates, people say, I can't choose, it's a tie. You don't have to vote. It's all in good fun. And also, with our topic, let us know what your answer is in the comments down below. We both love reading the comments, and you can comment on one of ours, cut and paste it to the other person. We both read comments and reply to them. Should be a lot of fun. So, this week, we are discussing what is the most satisfying death in a horror movie. This is going to be a fun one. Now, after some thought, I think I have a really good one here. Now, it's from a movie with one of the most WTF endings in the last 20 years. I selected for the most satisfying death in a horror movie, Mrs. Carmody, the crazy church lady from The Mist, who was played wonderfully by Marcia Gay Harden. Now, I'm sure you have seen The Mist, but if you haven't, go watch it. It's a fantastic movie. It's about a small town in Maine where a mysterious mist, it's in the title, covers this entire town, and inside this mist are these terrifying creatures from your worst nightmare. So we have some residents who seek refuge in a supermarket. Now, tensions are going to rise amongst everybody, fueled by fear and desperation. And this is where we meet the true waste of life, a disgusting human being at the end, Mrs. Carmody. So when things start to ramp up in the film, the mist is already taken over. Dangerous creatures are hiding out there. No explanation for any of this. Nobody knows what's going on. They're trapped in this supermarket. They're scared. People are being attacked and dying by these creatures. They're not safe because there's like large windows covering the store. So during one of the attacks, a giant flying insect, one of the creatures, lands on Mrs. Carmody's chest. Now, she thinks she's going to die, but the creature flies away. So she sees this as a sign from God that she was spared for a reason. And she decides to use this predicament as a tool to preach to everybody. But she does it in a way where she's cursing anybody she doesn't like, their way of lifestyle and what they do. Anybody she doesn't deem worthy, she's cursing them, saying, these people's fault that God is punishing us for all this. And she's trying to gain all these followers. She wants these sheep in her flock to follow. Now, the whole situation is a big recipe for disaster. Everybody's terrified. They're all trapped in the grocery store. Creatures trying to break in. Leaving is not a good option because most of the people who leave are getting killed. So you'd hope in a situation like this, people would come together, work as a team to try and figure things out. Instead, Mrs. Carmody, with her extreme belief system, she uses it to exploit fear in order to gain her followers. Her ego was pretty impressive here. She was very full of herself, thinking she was personally selected by God to be his judge, jury, and executioner. So she starts to manipulate the fear and anxiety of these people trapped in the mist just so she can push her own agenda. She uses the religion and fear to control others, and it just makes everybody really feel uneasy in the store. Tensions are starting to rise. And this affects in the entire group, and people are going to start turning against each other because they want to be sheep for a reason. So she's really intolerant, and she has different opinions and views than the majority of everybody else. And anybody who she disagrees with, as I mentioned earlier, she sees as an enemy. And she gets followers to also see these individuals as enemy. Like she'll call a regular woman a whore just for no reason at all. What really makes her a sick individual is that she wanted to be the deciding factor of who gets to live and who gets to die. She was trying to get her followers, or she got her followers, to toss a soldier out into the mist as a sacrifice, and she said she felt he was responsible for this. It was just so reprehensible and disgusting, and it was horrible to see all these little lemmings and sheep, just following her what she did, what she wanted to do. And I think in her most disgusting act, that really sets a high standard for what a disgusting person she is. She was telling her sheep, child must be sacrificed. It was just so sickening. And what's even worse is that people tried to get this kid to sacrifice him because that's what she wanted to do. And it's just, I find that's so hypocritical because she was saying she was the voice of God. She was doing God's will, but her actions is the exact opposite of what I believe God would really want to happen. The way she sat high and almighty in her chair with a knife, controlling others like she was just conducting them, and they were blindly following her. It really makes you hate this character. You can just feel your hate building and building from when she's introduced, and as the film goes on, you just feel your hate for her building and building, and you really want something bad to happen to her. That's why her death is so satisfying. In one of the many climaxes, one of the final climaxes of this film, everybody in the store is armed with knives and weapons, ready to take this child out and sacrifice him to the creatures outside. It's getting really hectic, and they're about to get this young kid, because she wanted to sacrifice him because a young kid's about to get murdered. And it's so horrible. Then, out of nowhere, Ollie, the wonderful Ollie, steps up amidst all this chaos, and she's shot by him, putting a stop to this crazy mob, and she falls down to her knees. Then the wonderful Ollie shoots her in the head, and it's just, you want to cheer. It's just the greatest thing you've ever seen in a horror movie for a villain to really get it. Mrs. Carmody was such an evil, self-righteous bitch. She was disgusting. You can't help but cheer when she was killed. I remember seeing this in the theater. People actually started clapping when she got killed because it was like, yes, because she's just so evil. I mean, she was already disgusting for causing that soldier's death. Now she wanted to kill her child. She's waving her knife around like she's conducting all of her sheep to just kill people like she was selected. It's just a child. One of the most innocent person in the entire store, she wanted to kill for whatever vapid, wacky, stupid reasons she had. That's what makes her death so satisfying. Just the hypocrisy of it, too. Trying to be religious, you'd think you'd be caring for others and whatnot, but she was the exact opposite. So that hypocrisy in her really makes her more disgusting. So, yeah, I just believe Mrs. Carmody's death, for me, was definitely the most satisfying death in a horror movie. So, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Now, if you haven't done so already, you can go to Carl's channel, link in the description below. Watch his video to find out who he selected as his choice for the most satisfying death in a horror movie. Then if you'd like to, you can go to the community tab on his page. You can vote for who you thought had the better argument. Was it me? Was it him? And it's a tie option. And don't forget to let us know what your opinion is in the comments down below. We'd love to read it. I love talking about horror to everybody. Cool. Thanks. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All that fun stuff. And I'll see you here in 2 weeks when we start debating another topic. Until then, take care of yourselves, be good to yourselves, and be good to each other. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. Remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails.